Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for the APB recap. This is a recap for the events that happened in the past stream on my APB show channel, link down below. If you want to join in the fun, then check out my stream channel, link down below. I got all sorts of hooplas and some of them are stream exclusives. My streams will always be at Saturday 7 p.m. Eastern time, except if it's daylight savings, which means it's at 6 apparently. But before we get into the recap, this recap is sponsored by you guys. You guys are the ones who are really helping this recap. YouTube pretty much demonetized this channel, and you guys are the awesome people that keep this channel afloat. So I want to thank you guys so much for the support. You guys are fantastic. If you want to be part of these awesome people, then you can support this channel through the links down below. Attention parents, the management of this theater discovered after booking Lightyear that there is a same-sex kissing scene within the first 30 minutes of the Pixar movie. Is that why this movie is not available in any of the local theaters in my country? Yep, this movie is not available in any of the theaters around my area. Whoa! Wait, what? That's okay, hold on a second. Buzz Lightyear, the Lightyear movie, that's not available. Top Gun Maverick, still airing right now. And one more movie that I'm kind of surprised actually got a theater. Everything Everywhere All at Once. Go watch this movie. This movie is great. I find it surprising that that movie is gonna be in the Indonesian theaters when that movie has a scene where a guy, naked, bottom down, jumps over up in the air and tries to land himself on a butt plug. I'm not even kidding. Go watch the movie. The movie is awesome. And I also found an article that confirms that this movie is pretty much banned here. This movie is supposed to be the 90s movie that was released within the context of the Toy Story universe. This movie is supposed to be the one movie that made Andy to be a fan of Buzz Lightyear, which is odd because the reception of this movie isn't really that great. People in the chat referred me to the cartoon Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, which is definitely a lot more like what I assume Andy was watching in the 90s, even though it's a 2000s cartoon. I have no issues with characters who are gay. I don't even have issues showing them to kids because gay is significantly less of an issue for the kids to understand rather than, say, being trans. Even adults don't understand that, apparently, especially when they declare everyone that breaks the gender norms trans people. Go check out my previous recap if you want more details. I'm just saying, within the context of what this movie is supposed to be, it makes no sense for it to have gay characters. But hey, Disney needs to push their progressive agenda pretty much everywhere, even if the time doesn't make sense and even if not all countries are gonna accept them. This is an amazing time to be a PC gamer. The PC parts prices are actually normalizing and people can actually buy GPUs at a much reasonable price. You can even wait for a couple months more and enjoy even cheaper prices as prices are actually steadily decreasing. But if you don't want to wait a little bit longer, you can just get yourself a 3060 or a 6600 XT GPU and you should be good to go. Honestly, it is a great time to be a PC gamer right now, and certainly not a great time to be a crypto bro. I mean, good lord. The past few events have been quite depressing for crypto bros, let's just say. And that's the least bad thing that happened in the last couple of months. Speaking of normalize, remember the Artesian PC Builds hoopla? Yeah, the Artesian PC Builds hoopla, where the CEO of the company just trash talk and disrespect the people that he's doing a PC giveaway to the streamers that he promised to do a giveaway to. Artesian Builds seems to be a pretty competitive player at the company bankruptcy speedrun. The company recently filed for bankruptcy and now they're selling out all of the PC parts that they have bought. And by all of them, I mean all of them. As in, you have to buy the whole thing. You can't buy them separately. The parts that were being auctioned are pretty massive. 43 partially built PCs, 413 cases, 360 CPUs, 359 PSUs, 219 RAM kits, 283 coolers, 167 SSDs, plus hard drives, 59 GPUs. 59 GPUs. Yeah, because even they don't get a lot of GPUs. And 346 motherboards. Loads and loads of parts. But that's not the end of it. An ex-employee told PC Gamer that there are at least hundreds of outstanding gaming PC orders. In other words, orders of PCs that haven't been fulfilled yet. One person ordered a 5,100 PC in December 2021 and they end up filing a dispute with their credit card company and buying a PC elsewhere. It's a shame, really. PC gaming is an amazing hobby with lots and lots of options, and you got companies like Artesian Builds ruining that hobby. But hey, at least the company is no more, the prices are normalizing, and people can actually buy parts in a reasonable budget. It's never been a better time to build PCs, though I still generally prefer laptops because I want a portable machine that is powerful and I can just bring it from places left to right. But hey, it's a great time nonetheless. I'm sure you all know about the common accusations that's being thrown around lately by pretty much everyone on the social media sphere. Racist, sexist, misogynist, Nazi, and you have to point them all out. It's been thrown left and right to the point where it has lost all meaning. But I think we need to talk about one more word that's being thrown around that also has lost all meaning. Woke. UK builders go woke. Study finds 3/4 of tradesmen discusses their feelings with colleagues, while 2/3 shun their fried breakfast and nearly half say they're history buffs. Wait, how are these woke? I thought being woke means being annoyingly progressive, and I'm still gonna have people going, well, actually, that's not what it means. But hey, the word is being thrown left and right to the point where it has lost all meaning. Everything is woke nowadays. So forgive me for not getting the accurate definition when people are using it very liberally. A poll of 2,000 builders found that 2/3 regularly talk about their feelings. Oh, I mean, God forbid that men talk about their feelings. It's like that meme, men only want one thing and it's disgusting, and it shows them being hugged and cuddled. Oh, God forbid that men want love and compassion. Don Corleone, I need you.
Because a man who doesn't spend time with his family can never be a real man.
Nearly half said they were history buffs. Oh, God forbid that you're a history buff. That means you're contributing to the progressive agenda. 60% favorite science. Favorite science? What does that mean? In what way? As in, they like science? That's not woke. They like statistics, empirical evidence, the scientific method? That's not woke. That's actually pretty base. Obnoxiously using them in order to push a progressive agenda, now that's pretty woke. Or at least to me, I don't know. The word has lost all meaning. Maybe people should just stop throwing them around like candy. Research shows outdated stereotypes around builders do not reflect the reality. That depends in how you define the stereotype of a builder. My stereotype of a builder usually goes something like this. Ew. What happened to you, Bob? I didn't remember you going through some midlife crisis. Can you believe why the entire series is going on hiatus? Just 53% said they love sport. Just 53%? You mean more than half of them? Yeah, Thanos just wiped out half the population, guys. Don't worry, it's just half. It's not really that much. 3/4 said they enjoyed reading, favoring history, autobiographies, and novels. That's right, guys. You shouldn't read. That's just woke behavior. Only 1 in 5 preferred reading the sports page in newspapers. Maybe because there's this thing called, oh, I don't know, smartphones? Is this written by someone's grandma? So yeah, the word woke has seriously lost all meaning. I don't even like saying it in the first place. If I want to say that something is being obnoxiously progressive, then I say that something is being obnoxiously progressive. I don't need to shorten them into a word which can be entirely misinterpreted into something else. Especially when it's being thrown around like candy by people with zero sense of responsibility in both their words and probably their life in general. I mean, what else are you gonna call woke at this point? Setting up your alarm at 12 p.m.? There you go, guys. I have set my alarm into 12 p.m. I have reached absolute woke. Not until you save that first, dumbass! I love the fact that this week shows how UK politics are an absolute joke. I love the fact that this week we got both sides being absolutely freaking mental. You got the boomers throwing the word woke everywhere, and you also got this. Joe Lycett asked to explain comedy show joke to the police. That's right, guys. Someone got offended over a joke so much that they had to call the popo for it. Don't you guys know that UK isn't a real place?
Let us commence forth. British?
But hey, at least the fuzz are very nice about it. It's just that they felt that they had a duty to investigate. Yes, the feds have the yes, the feds have the duty to investigate a joke.
You're such a bitch. What did you say? I have an itch.
Jeepers freaking creepers, what is this? Negroes for sale by public auction on Thursday 10 a.m. the 12th of April 1848. Wait a second, 1848? I don't know if you guys have seen papers written from the 19th century, but it certainly doesn't look like that. That looks like something written really quickly from Office 2003. It's really not helped by the fact that the font is clearly a bold Times New Roman, which was commissioned by the British newspaper The Times in 1931. So how can someone from the 1800s gain access to funds that are not commissioned until 1931? Also, the OP hides a bunch of replies pointing out all of these inconvenient truths, one of which is the fact that April 1848 is on Wednesday, not Thursday. We could probably dissect this post all day long, but we need to consider what the OP is saying. The OP has a point after all. So when you ask us why we just can't get over it, and then the OP proceeds to show the post. Just saying, OP, who tweets this from their iPhone, clearly a very disadvantaged individual, if you still can't get over something that happened decades ago, then you also can't get over something that happened quite recently. Not exactly appealing to lots of people, but hey, you get lots of retweets and likes from it, so good for you. It's kind of interesting how there are loads and loads of bad Batman takes out there, and that we get new ones every week. I've read Batman comics my whole life. I've read Miller's work, Loeb's work, O'Neill's work, Morrison's work, etc. Batman is a fascist. Okay, how is Batman a fascist? Anyone who uses wealth to enact violence on the lower class is a fascist. Lower class? I think you're confusing lower class with, oh, I don't know, criminals. I don't recall organized crime being mostly people in lower classes. And yet Batman fights them pretty regularly. Heck, most, if not all, of Batman movies involve him fighting the mob. So the only person who thinks that people in lower classes equal criminals is you. Racist! You can't be a billionaire vigilante without being a fascist. I think you're confusing Batman with Andrew Ryan, and the rehabilitation Batman offers is through a facility that he knows is infamous for repeated human rights abuses. Jail isn't rehab. In the context of Batman supervillains, I agree. They break out of prison every day at this point. I disagree with how that makes him a fascist, though. I find this post really funny. Apparently, Shonen Jump is asking for surveys of manga readers, and they put the survey in Google form. Well, you can't even make your own form in your own website that you had to use Google form for it? The survey asked the following question: do you read manga on pirate sites? Yes, I do. What about it? Please answer what is the name of the pirate... Nice try, Fed. Nice try, Japanese corporations. This just really shows how absolutely incompetent they are that they had to ask their readers in where they got their stuff. You get our money if you deserve our money. And if we're not broke, because most of us are. The amount of people trying to get into something because it's the trendy thing is really fascinating. Just goes to show you that something being trendy and popular is not always a good thing. Berserk, for example, which recently got a new chapter despite the passing of its author, which is great news. However, thanks to Berserk being pretty much a very popular seinen manga, there are lots and lots of bad takes and detractors to the manga, especially the ones that criticize its problematic aspects. Berserk fans and other people don't like how sexist and rapey Berserk can be. Well, yes, it's a dark fantasy. What do you think is gonna happen? I'm not guilt-ridden. I acknowledge Berserk has a lot of problematic tropes in it, and I can still enjoy it. Define problematic. What does it mean to be problematic? And if there's nothing wrong with enjoying something that has problematic elements, then why should it even be a discussion in the first place? Why should those aspects be complained if you can still enjoy it? But seriously, guys, Berserk is great and all, but it isn't the only seinen out there. Try something like Black Lagoon or Parasite. Or, if you really want to up the problematic levels, try Now and Then Here and There. I heard you guys can't get enough of isekai animes. Don't worry, here's another one. This anime is based on the Rwandan genocide. No, I'm not even kidding. It's actually based on the Rwandan genocide. It really was. Have fun! So in my last recap, I talked about the fighting game player that got banned for posting them haughty lolis, or at least banned from a specific event. Minor update, the event actually responded even further. The response, believe it or not, is even dumber than last time. Furthermore, we understand that some of the fighting games we host have characters presented as what people may call lowly. We get that. It doesn't mean that it should be shown to people who do not want to be shown any vulgar material regarding those characters. Ah, yes, because official artworks being posted in a meme is vulgar material. If you really don't want people to be shown those stuff, then those people should not be browsing social media in general, because vulgar stuff are being shown in social media all the time. As I said in my last video, if you don't want people to be exposed with lolicons, stop showing lolis. If you don't want alcoholics, don't have a bar. Stop selling beer. I love some console fanboy takes. So there's this meme that says, fuck off, stop milking the same games. And then it shows The Last of Us, GTA 5, and Skyrim. I agree with the first premise, but the first premise is supposed to highlight hypocrisy. The hypocrisy is as follows. Day one! Highlighting Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is apparently going to be a trilogy. I have issues with that too. And so are loads of other people. But hey, I'm not most people. They've been milking Final Fantasy VII for you. Wait. 25 years? They've been milking Final Fantasy VII for 25 years? How? How have they done that? I don't even like Remake 7 or Square Enix in general, and even I don't want to make claims that outrageous. As a PC gamer first, it brings me joy knowing each console exclusives will eventually port to PC and sold on Steam for $20 on sale. Okay, there's nothing wrong with this take, and I do agree with it. But hey, don't let that stop the fanboys. Oh, that pirate mentality is still kicking, eh? Pirate mentality! Apparently, waiting for games to be on sale is pirate mentality. My thoughts exactly. When they finally come, all they do is pirate it. $20 is just code for it. Okay, so let's assume that that is true. And this so-called gamers don't know the basic principle of happiness and symbiosis. Now, if they want to deal with a systemic evil that will destroy the industry, is their choice. Oh, wow! So you're telling me that piracy will destroy this godforsaken game industry that constantly abuse their workers and overcharge their consumers with a lot of horrible anti-consumer business decisions that ultimately led into the benefiting of the suits on the top rather than the actual game developers? You're telling me that pirating their products will lead upon the destruction of the gaming industry as a whole? That suits up top have no choice but to rethink and restructure and think about what kind of damage that they've caused to this entertainment industry that people love and dear so much? You're telling me that if I pirate their products, I can make this industry to crash and burn? Sounds like a great deal to me!
You're hard-fitted indeed. Being a pirate is a wretched deed. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Let's talk about Warhammer, because Warhammer always gets into stupid hooplas. So people are getting outraged because of this particular section in the Horus Heresy 2.0 core book. The book says that the process by which Space Marines are created relies inherently on the hormonal and biological makeup of the human male, meaning that only males can be subjected to the transformation. And people got outraged by that because women can't be Space Marine? Wow. That's a really interesting outrage. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with how Space Marines are created, but in case you don't, then let me read it from the wiki. Space Marines in Warhammer 40k are genetically engineered soldiers, and they all have to be male. Trying to apply those same genetic enhancements to women would result only in a painful, agonizing death. There are also other requirements, like they have to be adolescents or young adults, and even if you pass those requirements, you have to go through some absolutely brutal recruitment and training process, one that you don't want any human being to get through, let alone women. This is a really baffling outrage. Are you saying that you want more women to get through an absolutely brutal, monstrous, and horrific process that is the Space Marine recruitment? It's like being outraged that most action movie heroes are men, and that most women should be in action movie heroes, which sounds nice until you realize that those women would get shot at, get punched, kicked, brutally beaten up, and have to go through all sorts of physical and emotional torment. Sounds like fun! I always say that representation is just nothing but attention seeking and please senpai notice me behavior from most of these narcissistic human beings in planet Earth, and this hoopla proves it even more. Warhammer 40k already have Adeptas Sororitas, aka Sisters of Battle. Not to mention the Astra Militarum, aka the Imperial Guard, recruits both men and women to serve the Imperium of Man. But all of that doesn't matter, because the Space Marines are taking the spotlight. They're the most iconic faction, and therefore women should be a part of that iconic faction too. As in, they need to get more and more attention. In other words, please senpai notice me. But here's a more important question. Warhammer 40k coined the term grimdark, and the Imperium of Man are religious, xenophobic zealots. Saying that you want to be a part of this faction is like saying that you pretty much want to be part of the Nazi. Because they're pretty much Nazis. It's 40k, not our society. Exactly, so why does it have to comply to our standards? Imagine if art, games, and story impacted and reflected upon our society. Wouldn't that be wild? Yes, imagine if our society as a whole is being accurately represented by Warhammer 40k!
I declare exterminatus.
It's pretty much evident that these people have no idea what they're talking about. And I'm not even a huge fan. I just read the wiki a couple of times, and I thought it's pretty interesting. Maybe you guys should do it too. So there's this asymmetric multiplayer game called Identity V, which involves a killing game of some sort. The official Twitter account announced the winner of an illustration contest. They got the Excellence Award, the Gold Award, the Silver, and the Bronze Award. The problem is the Silver Award winner was changed in favor of another person because apparently the older Silver Award was an artist that draws flat and short anime characters. Wait, hold on a second. The asymmetric multiplayer game that involves people killing each other has to take a stance against flat and short anime characters. It's like if a Danganronpa fan is outraged that there are not safe for work drawings of the characters, which is apparently not okay, but the minors killing each other in the games and the stories, that's perfectly fine. Something about horror game fans taking a stance against 18+ content just seems a bit ironic if you ask me. And that's pretty much all for the last week recap. Once again, thank you so much for the sponsors of this recap, which are you guys. You guys are the ones that keep this channel amazing, so absolutely huge thanks to all of you absolutely wonderful people. If you want to be part of the awesome team, then please check out the links down below where you can donate and contribute into this channel. That's all for the recap today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.